Good morning all. Today I thought I'd do a topical teardown, so I've chosen this. It's a finger spinner. Apparently they're all the rage. So this cost me €7 at the local shop. Let's take a look, see what it does. Well, it seems that you have to hold the middle bit and then you spin it. Oh, that's making an interesting strobing effect, isn't it? But because this is an electronics channel, we need some electronics. So this one I chose plays some really annoying music and flashes these lights. So let's take a look at that. Oh yeah, that's causing real problems with the strobing. I think it's because there's a lot of light here. Now I've noticed every time I hit this, it plays the music again. So I don't know whether it's got some sort of accelerometer sensor or whether it's just got a loose battery connection. But yeah, interesting. Now that's producing sort of lines of red light, blue light and green light, but unfortunately you can't see that on the camera. Now I'm not sure why these things have become incredibly popular. I mean, all it is, well, on the conventional ones you've got a central bearing, which is just a ball race bearing. And generally they have 3 additional bearings on these 3 arms, I think really just to add weight. But of course, because this one's got a battery there, a sounder there, probably a piezo sounder, and that's where the little circuit board is for the lights. And it may have some metal in here as well. This one's reasonably well weighted. It does seem like there's a bearing race in the middle. It doesn't seem like it's a particularly good quality bearing. Also, I believe you can have this balance using the gyroscopic effect. Let me just tilt the camera up. And having tilted the camera up, you can see I'm not in my normal place of work. I'm actually on holiday. So is that going to balance? Let's give it another go. Something broke. Well, maybe that's not such a bad thing, because now we can see the PCB with the 3 LEDs. Now, what colour were they? Let's have a look. Yeah, red, blue and green. Now, there are screws underneath here, so I can take that apart. And for that, I've had to buy this screwdriver set because I've got no tools here. So this was €2.90. It's all in Chinese. Is that Chinese or is that Japanese? Actually, I've got a feeling that's kanji. Is this katakana? I think that's katakana. So I think this one is Japanese. So let's start taking these 3 screws out. Should we do this to music or not music? Let's have some music. Very irritating music, that is. Let's get these 3 screws out. Yeah, this screwdriver kit's quite good, but I'm not sure whether I can have screwdrivers in my hand baggage on the flight home, and I only have hand baggage, so they might be classed as offensive weapons possibly. So this is kind of coming apart, but the middle section, oh right, that's definitely come apart now. Right, so we've got a little speaker. Actually, that's not a piezo, that's a proper speaker with a mylar cone. Circuit board here, the 3 LEDs, little blob chip, and those 3 connections are for the switch. Underneath them we've got a little stack of 3 button cells, so we're looking there at 4.5 volts, probably in an effort to get close to 5 volts for this board. Now I've just noticed there's a screw there. One thing I forgot to bring is my close-up glasses, so I can't see what I'm doing very well, because I use the close-up glasses to look at my camera screen normally. Okay, so there's no accelerometer sensor or something to detect when you hit it, and there's certainly nothing to synchronize the light show with the rotation of the unit. No, it's very simple, just a chip that produces music, flashes the 3 LEDs in a certain sequence, and that's pretty much it. I'm interested to have a look at the bearing. Ah, there's a little weight there. That's interesting. Is that going to come out? Yeah. So they've obviously decided that the batteries are reasonably heavy. The speaker is reasonably heavy, but the PCB needed weighting up with a balancing weight to get this thing to spin reliably on the bearing. Yeah, let's take a look at the bearing. Well, it's definitely got the ball bearing in the middle there, and you can see it's gone ever so slightly rusty there. Ah, good, that's focused. But I can't for the moment push that thing out, so I think I'm just going to have to apply brute force. Let's apply it from the back. Oh yeah, that's pushing through the bearing. And there it is, complete with ball race. So what can I say about this ball bearing? Well, it has 8 balls, reasonably well separated. I mean, I don't know much about mechanics. It's very noisy, so I don't think that's a particularly high quality ball bearing race thing. Right, because I'm desperate to hear that music again, I need to put the batteries back in. Now that says, I think it says LT131. It says 0% Hg, that's mercury, PB, lead, cell, and positive, I'm pretty sure, is the larger back side. So let's put those back in. Right, see if that's still working. Oh yeah. It's even got a drum beat. Nice music. Right, let's put this thing back together so that I actually have my finger spinner. I believe these are also called fidget spinners, but I'm not sure whether any of that stuff is patented or whatever. Right, I need to put the little balancing weight in there under the PCB. There's no risk of that shorting anything, no, because there's nothing on the back side of that PCB at all. Okay, let's shove that in, use one of these screws. I think they're all the same. Put that in there. Screw the PCB back in place. Taking care not to over screw it so I don't strip the plastic thread. Right, that speaker's got to go in there somehow. No cutouts for that on this plastic surround, so I think it just gets shoved in and the wires just wedge the speaker in. I think that's how it works. Interesting. Right, now I need to push these wires down into these little guide slots so that they don't get caught between the two shell halves when I reassemble the shell. Push that one down into there. Not so hard that I cut through the wires, of course. Push that over a bit. Just don't want that getting stuck between the case halves when I put the case back together. This thing's got a little bit of foam on the back of it, so I think it's designed so that it doesn't vibrate in its mount and give you a nasty resonance. Right, there's my Phillips. Let's do these screws back up. It's hard to tell whether I'm... Oh no, that's tightened up, that's good. Right, next one. Right, that's the case back together. Just got to push this thing, I think, probably push through from the back, otherwise I'm likely to push the ball bearing out. Actually, that's worth a try, isn't it? Use that to push the ball bearing out. Oh, it didn't. Okay, well, it can go in that way as well as the other way. It probably should go in the other way, really. But yeah, that's reassembled. Was that fouling? Yeah, that's fouling on something. I think that's pushed down too far. Yeah, I think that should go t'other way round. Right, that's it pushed in from the other side. Oh yeah, that works a lot better. Okay, let's press that onto the other side. That's spinning again. I think if the camera were somewhere darker, maybe I'll try going somewhere darker, the shutter speed on the camera would change and you wouldn't get that. You'd probably see it more as a smooth rotation rather than this strobing with the shutter speed of the camera. So yeah, it might be worth trying to make it a bit darker here. Right, so somehow that light cover has to go on. Oh yeah. And see if it still works. Well, the sound still works. Oh, that sounds quite weird, doesn't it? Yeah, let's try and make it a bit darker so we see if we can see these stripes of light. Right, so I've come inside. It looks pretty dark down here. Oh yeah, let's try it down here. Yeah, this is really dark, so let's switch it on. Oh, that's too dark. It's totally overexposing the lights. I need a sort of mid-light. This thing's proving very difficult to film. Let's try it on this kitchen work surface. I think you can just get an idea, an impression that the different lights, the red, the blue and the green, are switching on and off, trying to create these lines of light. But I'm just not having much luck with the camera. It's either overexposed or underexposed or that. So let's have another go at spinning this and balancing it on my finger, while at the same time getting some completely gratuitous shots of the sea in Tenerife. Okay, let's switch on, and here we go. Oh. So I hope you enjoyed this very topical teardown of a finger spinner, or a finger spins, or a fidget spinner, or whatever you call this thing, with light effects and sound. Let's have one last spin. Cheerio.